good evening, or morning, or whatever time of day it may be for you, Pathfinders. Welcome to another episode of Third Action. We're at episode 101. I'm your lovely game master and host, Jason, and these are the same three greedy merchants that were on the council last week. In the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
My camera's low. I have to change where I'm sitting.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy, Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, played by Will.
Hi. How's it going?
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
I think that got worse. In the bottom right, we have Gunn, Shough, Human Champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
Still sickened one, but recovering nicely from a rough weekend.
Yeah, hope you're doing okay. I was also sick this weekend, weirdly.
Yep.
Had a bad batch of veggie bites trying to eat healthy, and spent an action retching it all over the place. So, cool. Hope you guys are all doing great. Let's, it'd be really useful if I opened the game. But while I'm doing that, last time on the Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers.
One of these.
What did our group of intrepid adventurers do? You hijacked a council meeting.
Crashed a party.
Crashed a party, as it were. Thank you, Moonside Lore, for boosting my bad omens. We're starting off to a great start. So last time, you crashed a council meeting.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
And where the host of the meeting was one Caliber Boulette, I guess, nefarious and dangerous noble who was behind some problems in Gunn's relatively recent past. As a result of crashing the meeting, you uncovered a snake behind the noble, a Lamia mistress, who seemingly took over both the Amber Blades and this noble's, estate. The Lamia known as Leona. You outed her and then defeated her in combat, and won over the trust and admiration of the council. They then proceeded to ask you what the hell's going on, and that is where we left off. Let me catch up on some Erastil favors. Thanks, Arcat, for the gifted sub to Moonside there. And yeah, let's go. What do you guys want to do? So you're currently on the boat. I guess we'll kind of fast forward this the rest of this meeting.
Agreed.
The council sit you down, ask you basically what on earth is going on. How much do you guys tell them? You could just give me like a summary of bullet points, I suppose.
There is a vast plot to seize some kind of arcane power that's based on greed, and there are agents implanting themselves all over the country, just like Leona did here. That they aim to resurrect some ancient evil Runelord, and that pretty much covers it for me. That we are traveling around, putting a stop to their plans wherever we find them.
Okay.
Anyone else?
They're all very quiet. Some of them are still a bit incredulous as they listen to your story, but others, such as Marion Palm, this one up in the top right with the blue hat, the half-elf woman. She seems quite convinced by your story, and tells you that she will start putting out some requests to some of the guilds to be on the lookout for any signs of this kind of plotting. They also discuss holding a meeting between themselves and what's his name, Cromarchy, the ruler, the pirate king of Riddleport, to get some maybe some added support and see where he stands on all of this. They also discuss taking Caliber Bullet to trial, because he is being held captive here, and it's unclear how much of this was under his own volition, or how much of it was performed under duress or charm, mind control by Leona. So they'd like to get to the bottom of that, and are going to be holding some private hearings to determine his fate, unless you have some other interjections. I believe, was there anything else you guys wanted to ask?
I don't have any other facts to share.
Okay.
I don't know how long.
Not with these.
Yeah, so once
I don't know how long Leona has been influencing him.
Yeah, that's something that they want to find out from him directly, but that need not have your involvement necessarily, unless you want to go interrogate him. But that's definitely something that they can do on their own, and perhaps fill you in on later if you wish to know. Marion gives
nice.
you.
If you have to rough them up, make sure you rough them up quite a lot.
We might have to. Marion
We have
smiles. What was
we
that?
have a
Gunn?
number of other matters that still demand. We have a number of other matters that still demand our relatively immediate attention. In the north.
Yeah, that is understandable. Here, take my card. And Marion will hand Gunn her business card. It has the name and address of her business here in Riddleport for you to contact should you need any assistance. So yeah, once that conversation kind of winds down, the topic then turns to rewards or potential rewards for your assistance today. They start just by kind of discussing some gold amounts. The drow woman kind of throws out that she doesn't want to give you guys anything, that they could have handled all this on their own. But the others seem to kind of just shut her up and turn to you all to ask what you would like, or what you would be interested in.
20,000 seems fair.
100,000 gold.
20,000 gold.
That's a bit much,
gold.
but
I would.
The main thing from my perspective is that I want to make sure my family gets taken care of, and restitution for all the harm that was done to them by Caliber.
Yes, then we'll see to it that is done then. Marion looks to the others. I don't know about large gold sums if a lot of this money is going to be going to restitution. But
nice house wouldn't be too remiss either.
I do think that Caliber clearly had 10,000 to spare, since that's the amount he put on my head.
But that money currently isn't ours per se. Marianne and the other council kind of discuss what they think is worthwhile then, given your requests. A house is not on the cards. None of these people here are real estate agents. When none of them would have spare houses for you. As far as money goes, they can each kind of pitch in here. That would come up to 7,000 gold. The drow woman refuses to pitch in anything. But all the others basically pitch in 1,000 gold as payment for rescuing them. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And that only
6,
leaves
7?
3,000 from Caliber, which is...
I'm afraid you'll have to
manageable.
get that from him yourself. Though, perhaps if we're able to seize his assets, we could discuss further payments at a future date.
I'm surprised that's not the first thing you did.
Well, we're all kind of on this boat currently. We don't have access to his businesses, his accounts. Should we go directly to seize such assets, I have a feeling that the Pirate King might not take that too lightly. Riddleport may not have laws per se, but we have codes, if you will. Things must be done the right way or not at all.
Indeed. He gambled. He lost. That's my opinion.
Oh, certainly. I assure you, we'll
Very well.
try and ring
I'll
him
leave
of
it
everything
to-
he's worth, but if you want more money out of him, you're going to have to go rob his place yourself.
That's an invitation.
She
Well,
shrugs.
Thank
Oh,
you.
hold on. I'm asking a serious question here, Gunn. That's an invitation. We can take
Thank you
care of
all
it,
for
but
your generosity and for your investment
Okay,
in our
Asha wouldn't say
ongoing
yes.
quests.
Sorry, what was Asher doing?
Oh, no, he wouldn't have said yes to robbing someone's house. I was just making a joke earlier. I was like, it's okay. I wouldn't actually say, let's do it.
oh, come on, that'll be fun.
The other merchants all kind of mumble to themselves as they begin to get up. The ship is currently docking back at the harbor, and they're all getting prepared to leave. If there's anything else you wanted to ask of the merchants, you can do so now. Otherwise, forever hold your peace or contact them at a later date.
Nah.
I'm satisfied with how this turned out. Quite satisfied.
We'll find a house or something later. I'm not too worried about it right now.
Oh, the quill.
Other matters to worry about. Oh, we do actually have the quill,
Yes.
didn't we? Thanks for somebody's reminding me.
Jason may have reminded me.
Somebody reminding us. No, we had nothing for you.
Ah, the
we,
quill.
we are trying to find somebody who can identify a certain magic item. Do you happen to have any contacts we could talk to?
It's particularly rare and complicated.
The blonde elven man who is sitting next to Asher, or who was sitting next to Asher, he's kind of stood up now. He turns when you pull out this quill. Oh my, what is that? That he kind of adjusts his glasses a bit, and you can see his glasses actually have multiple lenses, and he kind of rotates one lens on his right. On the right side of the frame into position, and it's like a slightly blue-colored lens. And he looks at it and oh dear, that's quite a powerful artifact you have there, sir.
We obtained this from one of the minions of Lamashtu, who was assaulting Sandpoint.
Hmm.
but who is
I
also
see.
a spirit of ancient Thassalon.
Well, if you're in need of identification, like you say, come with me. I'll take you to one of my shops. We can take a look there. I suspect there might be quite the power behind this feather that you've got. If you don't have anything to do, feel free to come right away.
Sounds good. We
moments.
do need to get on our way sooner rather than later. But
Aye, should we just meet you at the docks, or?
Why don't you just follow me? My business isn't too far from here. It's only a 5-minute walk from the dock.
All right.
I guess we could just stay on the boat to dock.
Greshy, I was going to say Greshy goes back to his horse and just
Yeah, I'm like, Greshy, wait.
gets on. No, he's going to go get on top of his horse and just ride his horse while riding the boat.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I mean, the ship's already, it's like at the harbor now. And they're like,
Yeah, it's pulled back in.
yeah, the black scabbards are currently setting up the, whatever you call it, the gangway. I don't know boat terms. Someone with boat knowledge help. The wood thing, the ramp.
Gangway.
They're setting up
Boarding
the
ramp.
accessibility ramp. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you don't mind following Mr. Rice Lanold, he will lead you to a magical emporium of his. And inside, it's bustling with scribes and other assistants taking stock of various minor magical items. Lanold leads you just through the store and up the stairs to his personal workshop, which he unlocks with a golden key. And inside are all manner of crystal orbs, arcane foci, and other such devices. And he directs you to place the quill onto the table. And he will take a look at it for you. This should only take about, hopefully, 15 minutes or so to discover the magical properties of this item. But I assure you, I never fail at this sort of thing. And assuming that you all take seats around the table and place the quill there. So you can see the quill itself is a beautiful green peacock feather. Male peacock feather, plucked from the tail of the peacock, with a white bone tip at the end. And after about 10-15 minutes of him adjusting some various devices around the table, doing some readings, taking some notes, he is able to fully identify it for you. And that item is the Revelation Quill. This is slightly covered, isn't it, on the stream? But if someone wants to read it, feel free. Or read it aloud, I mean. While I fix the map view.
Sure. It's a Revelation Quill. It's a rare artifact, illusion, divination, magical tags, traits. Excuse me. It's this quill is fashioned from a male peacock's tail feather. Its nib is made of bone, and when the quill is held in one's hand, it seems strangely heavy. The quill's tip is perpetually wet with black ink that never seems to run out. With an envision activation, while holding the quill, you speak aloud the Thessalonian name or description of a color. For the next 24 hours, or until a new color is chosen, any new ink produced by the quill changes to match the stage color, after which it reverts to producing black ink. Non-black ink produced by this quill is an illusion effect and can be disbelieved. Interesting. 10 minutes activation and vision once per day. While holding this quill against a suitable writing surface, you concentrate on a specific future goal, event, or activity occurring within the next coming week. The quill takes control of your hand's movements, writing out a short phrase in response. And one more activation vision once per week. While holding the quill against a suitable writing surface, you seek more thorough guidance of one of the mysterious intellect behind the quill, asking it 10 questions in sequence. After each question is asked, the quill takes control of your hand's movements, writing out a short phrase in response. And to destroy the quill must be tricked into revealing the method of destroying itself without asking it to reveal that method.
Wild.
Quite interesting.
Very powerful quill you've picked up. There's definitely some kind of power behind it, but exactly who or what it is, I can't say. As in, I don't know. Not that I know and won't tell you.
We have a couple of ideas.
There's
whether or not the information provided is true or useful, I also can't say, but it does seem like it is set to make contact with perhaps something from another plane, possibly a deity, like you just mentioned. Yeah, he places the quill back into whoever's possession wants it.
Now, to be clear, that's not cursed in any way, correct? It's just of questionable origin.
As far as I can tell, not a trace of evil aura or curse to be found.
Simply don't know who's answering.
Yes. I mean, you could try it yourself if you want. It doesn't appear to have been used today.
Does it only speak Thessalonian, or can you ask it anything with, like, common?
I think Greshy's still working on learning Thessalonian, so...
I'm unsure. Is there something that makes you think that this is Thessalonian? I just know that it has some kind of written connection.
Oh. I was just
sorry. I guess he did know. He did know it was
Yeah.
Thessalonian. You told him, and one of the effects requires
Thessalonian.
Name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I asked.
It's possible that the intellect knows other languages, but the activation for the colors seems to require colors in a language I don't know. So that must be that Thessalonian that you're talking about.
Okay.
What sort of question would we want to ask it? Something about your dragon, Asher? See if it knows that sort of thing.
I'd ask about my dragon.
What would you ask it?
So, it doesn't tell the future, I'm assuming, but what could it possibly know about an event in the coming week? Maybe I'm confused on what it does.
Perhaps it is able to tell the future.
It seems like it has some knowledge of future events, or perhaps just strong insight.
So at least for the second one, it seems like holding quill against a suitable service, you concentrate on a specific future goal, event, or activity. So you don't have to ask anything. You just think of like an event or activity or goal, like beating the dragon, and then it answers something.
Sure. Or encountering the dragon, perhaps.
Seems to work, yes. Perhaps being more specific might lead it to more specific answers, but...
Well, I could try that out. I could concentrate on thinking about the dragon and see what happens.
Confronting.
Do
you have the name of the dragon?
Here, I have a piece of parchment if you want, and Leynold pulls out a piece of parchment and unrolls it before you and hands you the quill.
Ooh. Okay. Asher will take the quill and put it on. It takes 10 minutes. Put it on the writing surface, and I guess think about the
We just all sit here in sort of seance mode.
the meeting with Razorhorn. And now I'm considering, like, could I speak like Razorhorn green and get the exact color of the dragon to come out of the ink? Or does it need like, ooh, forest green? Ooh.
Well, it says a description of the colors, so if you're saying Razorhorn green, you're thinking of the dragon. Seems reasonable.
Mhm.
Of course, it's concerning when it turns out Razorhorn's actually a black dragon, but
It's like, the ink's still black. It's broken. All right. Well, I'm
you can always try.
I'm gonna concentrate on. I'm not gonna do the color effect, but I'll concentrate on the Razorhorn meeting and see what comes of it.
Okay. So sorry. What
That's
your
seance.
thought is? Razorhorn. Was there
Going
Razorhorn?
to confront Razorhorn.
confronting Razorhorn?
'Cause I don't want to
Okay.
say kill, but confront.
encountering,
Yeah. Seeking
Okay.
out.
confronting, I think was good.
Yeah, confronting's a
Right.
good word.
Okay. It takes a moment for the quill to start to react. And are you thinking that in Common or Thessalonian?
I'll try in Thessalonian first, I guess, because I don't trust that this knows Common.
Okay. So
I guess we'll learn.
yeah, you try to think to yourself. Razorhorn doesn't have a translation, but you just think Razorhorn, Green Dragon, confrontation, encounter, and close your eyes, and then your hand starts to move. It twitches first slightly, and then starts to go up towards the top of the page, and then begins to write in a very flowerful font, I guess.
Mhm.
Let's see, what is it? I have to think about the wording of the response. A hero makes a fateful encounter amidst the snows of the Skull Mountain. It pauses for a moment. His foe dressed in the skin of his kin.
Uh-oh. Thinks the dragon's a good guy.
He's talking about you, Asher.
Yeah. Darn it.
Either way,
That
I
means
think that
either
was
the
about
dragon
you.
is the hero,
Yeah, the
or-
dragon's the good guy.
or the dragon is wearing Asher's family.
No!
I mean, perhaps there's like a bone wedged in it somehow. Wouldn't that be awkward?
Whose
Yeah, and
femur is that?
The quill stops, and you open your eyes and you can read it. That seems to be the response
Is it
it's given you.
in Thessalonian?
It is in Thessalonian, yes.
Okay.
Well, it gave us a location. I'm assuming you.
Yeah, assuming
read it
Asher
aloud.
reads it aloud back.
Yeah.
It gave us a location to look,
I mean, did it though?
but we kind of already knew that, didn't we?
Right.
Mhm.
Well, we had a suspicion though.
Mhm.
Oh, I guess I didn't say, but Shillelagh would have found you at the docks, and she'd be here with you, probably.
Oh, good.
Oh, she's come to
We
join
forgot
us.
about
Excellent. I just ditched her.
This
They were
is
a bit
quite.
busy.
I agree. This is quite potent. There is one other thing we could do. Perhaps you might help us go and review the woman Leona's quarters and office. Like, we may need just an introduction to prove who we are.
About that. I don't really know much about the woman myself. She's quite the enigma. She took over the Amber Blades, but as far as I'm aware, never stayed at their at their headquarters. No one's really seen much of where she got off to, so I'm afraid if you're going to seek her home out, I won't be any use there. Of any use there, rather.
Yep. In that case, it's probably not worth dallying much longer.
Well, should you ever need anything identified in the future, let me know. These reagents do cost a bit of money, so it'll be a little bit more expensive next time. But for this time, consider it a gift for saving us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I suppose that pretty much leaves us to collect our reward, potentially search. This might be the last major town that we visit before our next trek into the wilderness. So if there's anything else we need to purchase, we could do that. And then make our way towards the town where Shough was headed.
And we could go that. It's kind of like, I don't know if we're gonna go there first because that's kind of more western than north, and I think the
well-
dragon and everything is north.
Okay.
Yeah,
In any case,
at this
I would,
point
I
it
would
seems like
yield
the
to-
dragon is at Rimeskull.
I would yield
said
the choice
Shough.
to the two of you, obviously. This is your quest.
Yeah, we'll go north. I don't have the big map, but
Sure.
I
can-
assume it's north.
It's pretty straight north from here, if I recall.
It's up by the steam river. Whoops.
Yeah, so here's the map. You guys are in Riddleport.
Oh, there's
It's a bit actually northeast, technically.
Lake
North or east?
Stormender and Rimeskull are about 170 miles northeast. Across some river through some
Which is the
mountains.
Rift of Niltok?
You can give me a nature check.
Nature check. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious, I'll be honest. Just sounds like a fun place. Oh, that's not a great roll. That's only a 23 total. Bertie has not been this far north, so he may not know for least.
Yeah, you haven't really been around here. You think it's, given that it's called a rift, you think it's probably a canyon of some kind.
Hmm.
But
Bertie sounds much
you're
more
not sure
dramatic than a
specifically what it
canyon,
is.
but...
Well,
Fair.
you know that there are lots
Perhaps
of
it's just very-
canyons in the world that are called rifts, so it's probably a weird shaped canyon
Mm-hmm.
or something.
Sure. Very sheer cliffs or something.
Yeah.
I've no reason for us to stay here unless we... Well, I do have reason to stay here, but we can come back and take a look. I don't imagine Fenn's around, so...
The less time we spend in Riddleport, the better. Shough says, putting her hands behind her head.
All right. Sounds good to leave.
Asher, is there anything you'd want to spend 5,000 gold on? Could be quite
Is
a big
there?
upgrade.
I haven't thought about that, as I haven't come into the money until just recently.
5,000
I don't
gold?
know.
That's his share plus most of my share.
Okay. So you guys were given
I don't know
7,000
if I
gold.
need
You can split that up however you
Yeah, that's
deem
23,
fit.
33 per person,
Mhm.
with 1,800 of that being owed to Asher from me. So that gives him about 4,000. Well, in addition to whatever he still had.
Fabulous.
It might be our last chance to look for very powerful items if there was something you were trying to save up for that seemed out of reach before.
Nothing that I was going to buy outright, for me at least.
I don't know. Not sure what I would buy without like really sitting down and thinking about it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, we should take off and get going.
Yeah.
We have things to do.
Maybe I can give this to Razorhorn and bribe him to leave.
Mm.
I thought I would be surprised if he went for it, but maybe.
Ah, dang, 5,000 gold. Me as a big dragon sure loves this small amount.
Shillelagh shrugs as you guys leave the magical emporium. He is a green dragon. They are known for their excessive greed. It's not out of the realm of the ordinary.
Alright, time to amass a heckin' ton of gold before we get up there. It's my plan of diplomacy.
Inspired to me. Particularly great with diplomacy myself, so.
Boots of Speed were the big ticket item that we were looking for and could not locate.
I believe, did I find the formula for making
we got a
boots of speed?
formula.
Which is fine, I can make them.
Mm-hmm.
But
But that
it'll
takes
take a
time.
few days.
Yeah, I think you actually tried, and
I screwed up a bit, so I'll have to retry again, but... Well, especially now that we've got a bit more gold on hand, I should have the resources to do so.
that would be a pretty big ticket item for Asher, though.
So in
And also,
fact,
I know that Greshy is using one of his highest level slots on a group haste much of the time, so that could free up a slot for you as well.
well, the benefits of group haste is that of the high level slot is that it is group haste, and having Asher cast it on himself is beneficial, but just means it's one other target I need to hit with it.
Yep.
For it to be really useful, so either way.
No,
Anywho.
that's my only thought. But yes,
I'm ready to get
I'm not
moving.
here to delay us. Let's get moving. If you are
Hey.
ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to... So it's probably about 3 p.m. by this point, since you did the boat encounter around noon, and then this was all just kind of the follow-up afterwards. Do you want to get started right away? You can probably get a half day of travel in if you want, as you make your way northward. Otherwise...
That works for me.
Yeah, you can chill out here. Doesn't matter to me. Because you still have the Kelpies, the Phantom Steeds, if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
We do have them for most of the day still, so... Problem is I've only got the 2, so... We have to be still going at Shillelagh pace.
Oh, Shillelagh pace, right. What if you and Shillelagh ride the Kelpies?
Actually,
Asher travels overland. What's Asher's
Pretty
land
fast.
speed
If we were
I
to
have
do
a
that, I'd
flight
have to
speed.
leave.
or flight
I'd
speed?
have to leave
Yeah.
Capel behind.
Oh no.
Paul's your horse. If you want to bring him with us, it's fine.
I mean, you guys. I know this was my
This is your
quest and
quest.
all, but you don't have to wait for me. I can try to catch up. I don't want to hold you all back.
I wouldn't dream of going on without you. Like, if something happened and you couldn't catch up, or we spooked the dragon and he got away, I'd hate to have that. Have to rob you of the chance to see this through.
Well, I guess if you guys are all right with it, then shall we go at Capel's pace?
Sure.
Do it.
Sure, let's do it. All right,
Alright.
are we setting out now? Probably
Sounds
should
good
if
to
we're
me.
going Capal space.
Oh, did anybody need any more arrows?
Do I need more arrows? Good question. I think I have like 90 arrows right now. Because we made a bunch.
You and Shillelagh just made a bunch a few days ago, but
Yeah.
if you
So
wanted
I
to get
think-
more, you could.
I mean, let's get 1,000 arrows.
I wonder how Phelan would
It's
fare
pretty
with
heavy.
boots again. He would do the high stepping thing, walking around.
Oh, yeah. Shake the feet.
Like shaky. Steps, shake, step.
What, trying to put
No, I
like
don't
magical
think-
boots on Phelan? They wouldn't work. but
Well,
you
I
could
was more
try.
imagining that I could possibly make some sort of horseshoe the speed variant for him,
Yeah,
but
sure, little booties.
not the booties, but I think he would object a bit.
It's like
I don't
really
think they'd
quick.
work very well. Because he'd just be trying to.
All right. Well, some of you guys are leaving.
Aye.
Okay. So Kapal is a regular horse. I think you guys are all faster than Kapal with or without.
Aye, Kapal should be
special
40, I believe.
Things. So that gives us a Kapal speed of. Someday I'll remember the exact page of this. Is it just divided by 5? Is that how we do that? It's some other number.
Divided by 5 times 4, and it's 4/5 of your feet per action in miles per day.
Okay. So.
Sure.
So 40 becomes 32.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so 32 miles over 2 for today is 16. 16 miles. Oh, let me... Where's my party icon? Let's use that instead, since you guys are all together. Okay. So, I'll give you guys control over it. Okay, 16 miles. What direction are you going? Don't all talk at once.
We also have to go over land here, so we probably should go northwest through the uplands. Or I suppose we could go that way if you intend to go over the mountains.
Oh, that's why I was like, wait, that's northeast.
Oh, I'm just thinking.
Different people
These are
drawing
possible
different
options.
arrows. So yeah,
Okay, northwest is
That's
probably
true. We're just.
easiest.
your reasonable options are to leave out the eastern gate of Riddleport, make your way through the Lurkwood,
Ooh.
and into the Red Mountains from there. That'd be something
Fancy
like
words.
this. And then cross some
Oh my
mountains and
God.
rivers over to Rimeskull that way. You could go for the direct approach. That would involve crossing the Velashu River at least once, passing through the Red Mountains again, and then out of the mountains into Lake Stormunder, and then finding a crossing around that. The third way would be to go around the Velashu River through the Velashu uplands, curving through the no-lands, and then going directly to Stormunder that way. The Lurkwood is going to be difficult terrain, so that you'd move at half speed through that. The mountains are greater difficult terrain, so you'd move at a quarter speed through mountains. So the uplands is probably the fastest way if you want a more direct route on land.
We have several options at our disposal here.
Oh, don't look at mine. I'm just charmed that I can finally do this. I've never been able to do the
The right click thing?
Oh, it hasn't
point
worked?
thing before because I'm on a trackpad and it's really hard.
Oh.
So this is the first time I've had a mouse. I'm like, oh my
Pretty
god,
handy.
this is what everyone's been doing.
Yeah.
It is quite convenient. So if we're gonna be taking Kapal with us the whole way, which is fine, we're gonna need to go probably along the uplands.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to stop at Brainwall before making our way further east again, but
Is it like a medium-sized town, Brinewall? What do I know about Brinewall?
I was going to say I'm again not
Oh.
super familiar with things up here, so it doesn't seem familiar.
Asher might know, but Shillelagh definitely knows. Brinewall's
Okay.
an old abandoned castle, actually.
Oh.
Was part of the original Chalaxian expansion into Varizia. I don't know what, if anything, is there now. Sorry, what was that?
Oh,
Greshy?
never mind. It's not a town.
I was wondering who owns it.
Oh my god.
I'm
Sounds like a
not
fixer-upper.
sure anybody could have moved in at this point. It's close to the land of the Linorm Kings, so if you're interested in taking it over, that might be she shrugs.
Developing quite a thing for.
I think it's a bit much. Well,
It
we'll
might
avoid
take some-
Brinewall for that for now then.
Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if goblins have taken it over by this point.
Hey.
I'm not so worried about goblins. They can be reasoned with.
It's been abandoned
Or
for so
burned if
long.
need be.
I imagine there's all sorts of squatters living in there. Sounds like a dungeon crawl if ever I heard one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Side quest continues. Side quest
Sorry,
on top
you don't
of the side
have that
quest
DLC
as we
pack
go off.
installed.
Well, let's
That
head-
one's going
let's
to
head
be
north for today.
$200 paid directly to the GM.
I mean,
What
people
if I
donating.
sent you $200 right now, Jason? Would you make the quest?
Could somebody put like 20,000 bits?
If you pay me
In there.
$200 and you guys want to do extra sessions each week, then we can go do the Brinewall, the Brinewall Challenge DLC, and recover an ancient castle for you that you won't live in.
I'm just imagining it's just like 50 levels of constant fighting. It's like one of those
Probably.
dungeons.
It's just a combat dungeon.
Mhm. Anyway, I think we're going to head north or,
Yeah.
well,
The
west.
uplands?
Up
North
towards
for
the
today.
uplands.
Okay, so pick someone to draw 16 miles.
16.
Alright,
Whee!
you got 16 miles.
We got drill fire. You're very concerned.
Let me get my handy-dandy table of interesting things that could happen to see if anything does. But we'll move kind of fast through this, I think. Heavy book. Where's my... right. Let's see. It's at the front of the bestiary. There we go.
So, what do we know about the peacock god? It was a Thessalonian religion.
Is he the pride guy? Am I misremembering that?
It was one of the Runelords has like a subculture
Mm-hmm.
with this god, and I think it was greed.
No, it was
No.
Pride.
Greed
Zandergul.
was hideous. He was the hideous man, but pride was the sexy man.
Zandergul, dedicated to the great peacock spirit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, one of the
Yes, that
Runelords had a.
is- Yeah.
Oh, and that's the guy who
religion
who was the only Runelord of that
Mm-hmm.
particular element, right?
I
Yeah,
don't believe
think
he
there were
had
only
any other ones.
2 of them that didn't get murdered.
Yes,
Him
that would have
and
been.
Lust.
Yeah, Lust was the other one. Sortian, the Runelord of Love/Lust, and Zandergul, the Runelord of Pride/whatever the opposite of Pride was.
Humility.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what hum is.
So-
Okay. I have my
I don't
chart.
know what hum means.
Okay. Okay. Encounter right away. Let's see what you get. Okay.
Goblins.
All right. So while you guys are on the trail today, you spot a group of wild horses. There are 5 of them in a pack, and they're just running free across the uplands. They all have they're all like spotted light brown and kind of white patches of fur with black manes. They're just running wild and free. Nothing particularly interesting about them. You just kind of come across them as a group. They're maybe like a couple hundred feet ahead of you. They're running up to the top of a hill, and then they all kind of stop and start to graze there. They see you passing, but don't think anything of you.
Do we hear rock music? Or anything like that? Are we in a...
No, unfortunately
Is
not.
there a man in the sky with a cowboy hat screaming?
Ah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is
No.
Johnny Fist in the sky?
Yes.
Johnny
our
Fists.
Lord and Master Johnny Fists. Is he still there?
Looks down upon us.
He should be. There should be
he's
double
hiding.
Johnny
I
Fist
can't-
action
I can't
going
quite-
on, if I
I
recall.
can't quite
Oh
show
yeah,
the
they're
chat.
fighting.
Oh yeah, we have 2 Johnny Fists. This is a visual only gag. Sorry, anybody who's listening to the podcast afterwards. But in any
It's a
case,
pretty silly gag, but we love it.
it's really stupid. Okay, yeah. So you end up making camp later in the evening, and yeah, you have generally while you're traveling, I'd say you have about 4 hours of downtime, which would be like a half day of downtime. So if anybody had any like downtime things they wanted to work on, assuming they have the tools, then you can do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that you guys aren't doing anything, but let me know if you are.
I mean, not with the rest. I don't imagine I'd have enough time today to do anything proper, so... no, though I would like to try learning the Thessalonian with Asher at some point.
Ooh, I'll teach you. It's so much fun. The knowledge you will learn.
I am eager to learn.
Hey. Let's all learn. Sit around, everyone.
Okay.
And we'll
so-
teach you how to do tree form later.
Oh yeah.
All right, you think about
I've not
doing an
forgotten tree
exchange
shenanigans.
of abilities. All right. Next day. What day was it? It was Oath Day of Badius II. When you cleared out that council meeting. Today is going to be Fire Day. Badius III. Oops. 4708 AR. Go ahead and draw me a line of the 32 miles that you guys want to go today. And I'll move the group.
And close
Oops. I'm holding the wrong thing. Alright, 32 miles. Okay, today is pretty uneventful. It's definitely getting colder as you go further and further north. There's already snow on the ground in a lot of the uplands, and the clouds are building. It looks like it's going to be very cold tomorrow. Possibly more snow. Next
Everyone
day.
have their cold outfits. Oh, did you ever give me the extra cold outfit? Was there an extra one?
It's in the bag of holding.
Oh,
Aye.
okay. Yeah.
We hadn't gotten rid of it or anything.
I forgot if you had gotten it or if you were like, ah.
Oh no, we weren't gonna let you freeze.
I would have.
Yeah,
Even if you ran off
hand
like
out
a
that
fool.
outfit?
Sure.
Okay.
Not sure what Asher looks like in his fancy winter clothes, but
Yeah. Fits me a
Remember
little
that you
weird, but
bought
I
him
don't
some
care.
new clothes. You hand them over, and you're each dressed in. And Shalelu too also has her own winter clothing that she's put on for this kind of wintry travel. Anybody do anything that night? Otherwise, we continue.
Some studying ideas for my retraining plan.
Okay.
Learning, I still want to learn languages as well, but rather than Thessalonian, I'm trying to learn sign language. But I guess you can't really do that without a book or something to learn something totally new when nobody knows
you would
it.
have needed some
Yeah,
to
that's not
purchase a
gonna work
book
out
or
here.
find an instructor who knows it.
You can make up some GSL, some Gunn sign language.
We tried that quite a long time ago.
Mhm.
It didn't really stick.
awful quiet for, an audio podcast. So,
Yeah.
amongst other issues. But,
I mean, you can say what you're doing.
fair.
Okay. Next day is Star Day, Abadius the 4th. Give me your 32 miles.
32.
And I'm assuming that you guys are still using the hut as your primary sleeping and food arrangement.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
That is the plan. Greshy will continue to create food and water and
Okay.
a pair of horses for us each day.
All right. Okay. No interesting encounters today. It is in fact lightly snowing as you make your way this far. The cold weather clothing. Let me see.
Cold.
So what is it called? Winter clothing? Fuck. Winter. Clothing winter. There we go. Negate severe environmental cold damage. Reduce the damage from extreme to severe. Okay. So yeah, it's starting to get to severe cold, but thanks to your clothing, you're able to negate it. So it's not much of a problem for you all. The horses and animals are largely fine in this weather, I guess. They have more fur and can deal with it a bit better than you all. Okay. Next day. Why can't I click the date? There we go. It was Star Day. It is now Sunday, Abadius the 5th. Backspace. Okay. Draw your 32. Oh, you already moved it? Cool. Today, you have passed the Velashu River and made your way into the No Lands. You're getting closer to Lake Stormunder. You pass through a forest today, just some small woods, where the road takes you. There's an encounter today. Today... Today you encounter while you guys are making your way through the forest, Asher, you spot a group of 3 firepelt cougars. It seems to be a mother and her 2 children.
Pretty cute.
They somehow they seem to kind of like approach you briefly. While you guys are sitting around for lunchtime. It's the 2 children that kind of approach you out of curiosity, and then the mother eventually comes over and shoos them away. and they run out into the woods.
No.
What happened to that guy who met us in the form of a cougar, and we helped him out?
What guy?
I think it was on the way to the giant's fortress.
It wasn't a guy. It was a actual cougar.
Was it an actual cougar? I thought it
Was
was.
that
Actual
the one
cougar.
in the trap?
Jacardros is.
Yeah, that was his cat.
Oh, right, that was
Hi.
Ricardo's cat. Right,
Hi.
right.
So it was like,
that
what?
guy. I don't know.
And the
it
other
could still
Firepot
good
cougar
could
was
be, you
Gogmarks.
know?
You're totally right.
We don't know
I can
if
see where
he's
you got
not a guy.
confused, Gunn. He was quite smart for the cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys have this conversation as you make your way out of the woods and into the no lands. Cool. Next day, Moon Day. That is the 6th.
I think I was mixing that up with one of the Shawanti.
Oh yeah, some of the Shawanti could transform, but I don't think any of them introduced
I don't remember if we
themselves
met
to
them in form, but
Okay.
No,
but they could
Uh,
transform.
About
Anyway.
is the 6th. Give me your 32 miles.
Starting today, I'm going to begin preparing Endure Elements, heightened to 5th level.
Okay.
4 castings of it to protect the people, at least, from the extreme elements.
All right. Today's another encounter. What do we see today?
Yeah, because that's a lot of spell slots.
It's a lot, but depending on how cold it gets, it might actually be worth it.
Okay. So as you guys are making your way across the no lands, you eventually find a spot to camp near one of the hills. And as you're making camp, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hear crinkling.
Sorry. Button stuck
Okay.
away.
Shalelu notices a trail of torches in the distance. She goes off to scout it and comes back a few moments later, whispering low. Looks like a pack of goblins. There's about... looks like there's about 12 of them. Maybe 1 or 2 more, I'm not sure. You guys haven't set up your campfire or anything just yet. So you're all in relative darkness. Only the moonlight. There is a full moon out tonight, so you can see fairly well in the dim light. Should we do anything about them, or let them pass?
I mean, do they seem like they were doing anything harmful?
She thinks a moment. Well, and then she stops and looks at Asher, and then kind of shakes her head. Never mind. I don't know.
Old habits die hard, Asher.
We can.
It's okay. Shalelu will learn.
I suppose we could try and figure out what they're doing, but normally when they travel together in a band like that, she kind of trails off. Let's just say I'm a bit curious. But if you guys don't want to have anything to do with them, I understand.
Do you want me to eavesdrop on them?
We're pretty far from any settlements at this point.
That's true.
There not going to be any danger to anything I'm worried about. Not for some days at least, and at that point, there's a live and let live policy.
She shrugs. Sorry, I've been a goblin hunter for so long. The paranoia just.
No, I understand.
It's
I'm
hard
sure
not
they
to.
needed some hunting. We got to trim the numbers down to certain levels, but They take care of that themselves for the most part.
Shillelagh kind of rubs her forearm and sheepishly, and maybe you're all right. We can just leave them alone.
Yeah.
We'll keep careful watch tonight, as long as they don't bother us. I'm not
If we
interested in
can-
bothering them.
If we can keep everything hidden, which I believe we can, or at least keep the fire hidden inside the yurt, I believe we can close the door and keep it hidden reasonably well, so should be okay.
Yeah, should be fine.
Unless
so-
Asher wants to ask them about dragon being nearby.
Have you guys seen a dragon around here?
you guys!
Hey everyone, it's me, Asher. You don't know me, but
I know you.
I don't know you either. So we both know the same amount.
I mean, you could try if you want.
Oh God, the last thing I want to get into is a fight with goblins who aren't doing anything.
All right.
We'll make camp then.
Shillelagh, holds back on her curiosity over what the goblins are doing, and you guys continue to make your camp. She still watches them through the spyglass that you got her. Unless you wanted the spyglass back,
Nice.
she's still using it.
No?
She would
It's a
return it
gift.
if you asked, but I think you said it was a gift, yeah. So she's just watching them through the spyglass. Looks like they're heading almost in the same direction as us. Definitely towards the Steam River. But eventually she grows bored of watching them and sighs. You're all probably right, it's probably nothing. And then goes to join the festivities inside the yurt. Okay. Unless anybody else wanted to do anything, we will continue on to Toil Day.
I wanted to ask, did Asher want me working with some of the downtime that I've got day to day working on boots? I would need some extra resources. But I can do
Yeah.
boots of speed for Asher if he wants.
I can try and help. I have nothing better to do.
Well, it's more that I would need the resources to finish them if I was successful. So,
Yeah, I can hunt around for them if you need me to do that.
to be
He just
clear,
needs the gold.
it's going to cost 600 gold of resources.
Oh,
we
you
can
need 600.
we can roleplay it
gold.
however you want, but it's going to cost 600 gold of resources at some point that I would not have to make
Okay.
Asher those boots.
Yeah, I
If
have
you had-
600 gold.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not sure what you're trying to
You
tell me
already-
here.
She already
Sorry.
purchased enough resources to get through the
Um,
first
Okay.
half of the crafting, right?
I did. Oh, then yes, actually, I would have enough to finish it. I think I
Well,
still
you have
had
enough-
those because I failed, but I didn't critically fail, so I still had those
Mhm.
resources. Then
Oh, and
I
you
am
already
just.
paid out that gold for that?
Mhm,
I see.
I had. So I'll go ahead and spend what downtime I've got, assuming we're only traveling 8 hours a day, or are we traveling 16?
I'm currently assuming that you're traveling 8 hours a day and that you have a leftover 4 hours for downtime.
That's fair. So then, yeah, I'd be crafting in what downtime I've got. So
Okay.
about half day's worth each day.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're starting it on the 6th then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, today is Toil Day, Badius the 7th. You all get up early in the morning, as per usual. And the snow is coming down pretty hard. Still, it's still severe cold. By the time you get up, when you open the flap of the yurt, a big layer of snow kind of smashes onto the ground in front of it.
Mhm.
You all step out and get the horses who are just chilling out nearby. Oh, sorry, the horse, Cabal. Shough goes over to him, takes off his little feed bag, and brushes him a bit and gets him ready to go. So go ahead and give me your 32 miles.
Okay.
On this day, I'm going to prepare 6 castings of Endure Elements and cast on everybody but Phelan, who has the rune on his armor.
Okay.
And then I'll have my 7th level slots will be a horses.
All right. So you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just
so you guys...
guessing now. If I'm going the wrong way, someone tell
Oh, no,
me.
that's the right way, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Asher's leading the party.
I'll just keep going over here.
I'm
So you
just
guys
wandering around,
head
sort of
to the
making...
northeast, following the map. You can now you pass by a major bend of the Steam River today, and you can see why it got its name. You can even from like a mile or so away, you can see the thick cloud of steam that like builds up over it, just from all the heat that's being released from this very warm river. By the time you guys stop for the night, nothing of interest happens. You guys see a few wild animals here and there, mostly small birds, a couple of deer off in the distance, but it's mostly kind of flat plains this far out. You can see off in the distance to the east Mount Rhymeskull, towering over Lake Stormunder. But yeah, that is the 7th, so you get one more day of your crafting if you want. This is 2 days of crafting.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And today would be... So next day is Wheel Day, Abadius the 8th, 4708 AR. Give me your...
It occurs to me that I can actually downcast my Phantom Steed, because we're not flying necessarily any faster, so I'm going to cast those at 4th level instead. So that way I can free up my 7th level slots again. But...
Okay.
Or keeping us warm.
So it looks like today you can basically get to the southern edge of the lake by the end of the day.
Explore around it a little bit.
Yeah, and explore that area. You could continue if you wanted for another 8 hours to find a way. Well, you'd have to find a way across the lake. So yeah, you spend your full day. Once it's evening time and you're all kind of a bit tired, you've reached the edge of the lake. It is a massive lake. I guess it's... How many miles across is it? It's about 25 miles across, so 25-mile diameter, with multiple feeding points. It is a large, relatively clear lake, though there are pockets of frost on the lake's surface, especially around the edges. Much of the center has this steam billowing up. There's also, where you guys end up stopping, there's also quite a few geysers in the area that, or geezers, I guess, if you're British.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I think that's a thing. I was very surprised when somebody said this, and I was like, sorry? What do you mean? What? Oh, I thought you were talking about old person.
Never heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's quite a few geysers that are kind of fun to look at, especially since I doubt any of you would have seen these before.
Definitely not today.
But yeah, you can set up camp here. Asher, could you give me a perception check, please?
Do you see the dragon?
Dragon. Whoa.
It's right behind you.
The 39.
Okay, with 39, so while you guys are setting up camp, you do notice a relatively large number of small footprints. Not directly where you guys end up setting up camp, but a good, a couple 100 feet away. Seems like maybe that goblin band came through here. It's like a big trail of... You could imagine it's about the same number of them. About 12 goblins, all in a kind of a huddle. Possibly walking for a really long time. Dragging what look like some large sacks behind them.
Do goblins give
XP? Yes.
Yes. Do they give XP? It's the word. Yeah. Do they give XP, Jason? I want to know.
They do, technically.
No. Do they? Sacrifice isn't the right word. When you give someone something as a gift because they're
Bribes?
better than you.
Oh, tribute?
Like
Offer, tribute.
Do goblins pay tribute to dragons in general?
That would be... Normally it'd be a society check, but for you I'd allow nature, since it is kind of a...
God. Ugh, a 26? Oh god, there's
26.
noises that happen when I roll this.
It's not unheard of. You would know that dragons do like to command small groups of inferior beings, as they would put it. So for a dragon to ask goblins to pay tribute, that's pretty reasonable. They might not do it on their own, but you know goblins are generally coerced by fear, as at least the society of goblins in Verpisia are often very coercible by fear.
Okay.
Don't recall the first dragon we fought was being sort of protected by goblins. Happened to live in the same cavern.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes,
We
that
taught
is
to
true.
trade. I guess they didn't really like the dragon either.
They weren't super fond, but they were also not fond of being eaten either, so... Luckily, you were kind enough to talk them out of trying to kill us.
Thank goodness. That's the only thing I can do. I guess that I could technically add a message, and I was like, I could hunt prey Razorhorn. I could start tracking him now, I guess. I was thinking of doing that anyway. Since this is kind of around the point he might be, at least look for signs that a dragon has been around. Mostly so we don't get attacked.
If you want to start looking for signs, you can go ahead and give me a survival check to try and find some tracks. Or find some indication of him.
Doesn't hunt prey give you a bunch of bonuses when you're looking for a particular creature?
I have to see or hear them.
I think you have to
at
least be... Let's see. You designate a single creature as your prey, focusing your attacks on the creature. You must be able to see or hear that prey, or you must be tracking that prey during exploration. So I think you need to have some tracks to start with.
Okay.
You rolled a natural 2 for a 22. You have a hero point if you want, otherwise we can go with it.
I can just keep tracking every day, so I don't mind.
Sure, okay. So yeah, 22. You mostly just find signs that these goblins were here, or perhaps other goblins. You're not 100% sure. You didn't see the goblins up close. You're not sure if that set had any sacks with them or not. But certainly it seems like they'd have to be quite fast if they got here first. These seem to have been perhaps from earlier today or possibly yesterday. These tracks through the snow. As far as signs of dragon, you're not seeing much. Today is pretty heavily overcast and actively snowing. And no large shadows in the sky that you can see through the low-hanging clouds. no large broken trees or anything like that within your vision. Yeah, you're not sure.
Well, now I'm curious about the goblins. The goblins.
Goblins. Were they
Now I'm
globbish?
getting curious.
Do you think the goblins, if they were in cahoots with this dragon, might be able to lead us back there? Maybe they know a land route?
I have no clue, but if I have downtime tonight, I might go hunting around for eavesdropping if I can find someone.
Okay, actually, no, I think you can hunt prey before actually seeing them if you kind of know who they are and that they're there. That would technically be a 24, but still not enough to find a trail. Yeah. Actually, one sec. When it comes to this sort of thing, let's see if it's a critical failure or not. What was the total? It would be a 24. That is not a critical failure, so you could try again after an hour. So you'd spend it basically an hour trying to look for any signs.
Okay.
You'd have about like 3 more hours in the dark of searching if you wanted, or in the afternoon. So you could try again.
All right. Yeah. Let's try another time. Let's see.
Maybe to another world.
Survival. You said? Oh yeah.
Yep,
it's
survival.
There it is.
To try and find a
I
trail.
mean, you can only do one worse, so...
26, 27, 28.
28 is also not enough. You spend another hour searching around for any signs of the dragon. You kind of branch away from the group, looking for anything that could give you a clue to where it is, but don't see anything. You can try again if you want.
Let's do it. A 33, 34, 35.
35. Okay. So now, having gone a bit of ways from the group, you've kind of hiked maybe a mile off, searching up the river. You do come across a what appears to be a partially downed tree, and the corpse of what looks like a large, like rubbery skinned gray creature with like thick brown fur. I guess you would immediately recognize it as a mammoth. The creature, the dead mammoth appears to have most of the meat ripped out of its body. And in a lot of places you can see signs of I guess freezer burn, like intense frost, as well as signs of necrosis, like thick black turning of the skin. It's the whole body is like a big mangled mess. But it is there about a mile away from where you guys are. And as you scan from here, you can see a couple of trees off in the distance that look like they maybe have been knocked down. And they seem to lead... this is not clicking. Oh, that's why. So you kind of, yeah, you're maybe like a mile south, and it looks like maybe the trail leads across the river to the east, and maybe up towards Rock and Skull, but you're not really sure. You'd have to actually follow it. But there's definitely signs that something large and dragon-like has been here.
Oh, yikes for everyone. I'll bring this news back.
Okay, you come back and give your report. to the others who are setting up camp, or I guess Greshy is probably in the yurt already working on some crafting of these
Does that
boots.
mean there's 2 dragons?
What 2 would there be?
Archist?
A black one and a frost one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we think that Archist is already dead.
Yeah.
It certainly seems like it, so I doubt he's here
So
anymore.
how long ago did that mammoth die? It's been about a week since we found that group in Riddleport.
Asher, if you
So
want to
they
roll a
found him dead.
retroactive medicine check.
Yeah,
Because
how long
you
ago
looked
is
at the
this
body a little bit more.
dead? Yeah, I would have
Flashback.
studied the body.
Yeah, we flash back to Asher looking over the body.
Flashback to
Oh,
a 4 with a 22.
that's back
it's
to
updated.
reality. Oops, there goes gravity.
It's cold out, and it seems to have been partially frozen. It could have been as recent as today. It could have been as late as a week ago if it's been this cold. You're not really sure. It's hard to tell, but probably
Okay.
within the last week or so.
If it was within a week, then that would point to Archrist not being dead or there being another frost dragon here.
Oh, do you think the wounds are from a frost injury rather than being left out in the cold?
That was the sound of it. That's how you made it sound.
It
Yeah,
was
Asher just
freezer
described-
brain.
Asher just described what he saw, and Gunn and
Mhm.
possibly successfully interpreted.
Well, I was kind of asking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it as being too cold. I didn't even think that it might have been from a dragon that had cold breath or something.
Well, I had originally gone to Arcris, but it was that recent. I'm not sure. But it has been
He
cold
has
the
a
last few days, though.
friend. Maybe Arcris had a child. Maybe everyone has
We'll
children.
have to find out.
Do we just have to kill all the dragons and their children?
Maybe we can just make them
That just
leave.
doesn't seem right.
Shalelu's like scratching her head, thinking
A
about it,
puzzle.
and then her eyes kind of like widen a bit as she like kind of partially remembers something. Wait, Asher, what was you asked the quill a question? Do you still have that parchment? What did it say?
I do. Oh God, I have to remember what it said.
I hope you wrote it down. It was talking to you.
No. Yeah, the only part I remember is that it said a hero, and then someone was
Something about
wearing
Skull
their
Mountain.
skins.
Asher's like fishing
I
through
didn't know it
his
would come back
parchments.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Unfortunately, it seems like you've lost
Rewind the episode.
I've lost my parchment. I have to go back in time.
Well, it's been several days. You could just ask it again.
I could
That's true.
By the way,
What?
Quill, what was that thing that we asked you? The
No,
other
I'll be
time?
like, I'll be right back, and I take the quill off into like the woods, and I go, come on, tell me what you told me.
We're sitting here for 15 minutes as Asher says he'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
And we'll kindly pretend like we don't know what's going on.
Hey, Quill, can you
Alrighty.
drag
So Asher steps out of the hut,
me?
pulls out a parchment. Yeah. So, what are you envisioning?
I'm trying to envision the same thing of confronting Razorhorn.
Okay. You think again, closing
Yeah,
your
the same
eyes, pressing.
Yeah,
You're kind of
back
pressing it
and
up against the tent, hoping that the quill will start to move. Are you doing this again in Thessalonian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm too scared to do it.
Let me think for a moment what the response is. So you think dragon, razor horn encounter again. The hero's time grows nearer. Revenge or death awaits.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what the last line would be.
Oh, it's not a haiku.
Not reassuring at all, by the way.
Somehow gotten worse.
Frozen corpse amidst a circle of faces.
Well, this isn't the same thing as last time. Now I'm embarrassed. Well, I bring it back and I go, okay, it gave me a different thing this time. But this time I'm gonna write it down in common and put it in my pocket. And I'll never lose it.
That's a good idea.
But I guess frozen corpse amidst a circle of faces. I guess those might actually be the faces that we're looking for, the statues.
Frozen corpse sounds like there was in fact a battle and somebody lost. It's already frozen.
Odd.
Could try the 10 questions version also, but we might want to save that for the next part of the quest.
It's a week. And I don't have 10 questions about a dragon.
Not this one, at least.
No.
So,
How many dragons are there? What are their goals?
How many dragons on Earth?
No, in this group.
that's a
In the
broad question.
group. So there are multiple dragons.
Are the goblins working for the dragons? How can we approach the dragons' lair undetected? Yeah, we could find 10 questions.
Oh yeah, you can ask it how to do things, just not how to kill itself.
I mean, you can, it just doesn't work.
I wonder who knew that fact to write it down. Like, someone must have figured it out and figured out a way to destroy it in order to know that you could trick it into it telling you how to destroy it. And then they wrote it down but never told anyone else how to destroy it, and also didn't destroy it themselves. Very
Well, that's
curious.
just the way that so that's what the I forgot his name already, but the guy who identified the item for you has discerned that that's how you would do it. It's not necessarily written down anywhere that that's the.
Yeah. There
that
was
is
a
the method of
similar
destruction.
deal. There was a similar deal for the archive,
Mhm.
where artifacts take some kind of powerful method to be destroyed.
Yeah, if you ask about it, you'd basically have learned that every artifact has a extremely specific way that it can be destroyed. You can never make anything truly invulnerable in this world. Only mostly invulnerable.
Yeah, but my question is,
Mhm.
so it's a specific way you destroy it, and the other one we know that way because somebody at some point has figured it out, whoever made the artifact or whatever.
Oh,
Who
yes.
figured out that this one was destroyed by tricking it? Did the original guy, tell someone about it? Did someone figure it out? Did someone just guess that's how you do it?
Oh, well, that's just the guy who identified it for you guessed that that's how you do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how do they know that?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was not consulting a book. This is not a known item that exists out in the world. This is something he was discerning the magical properties using his devices to do so.
All right, cool. I didn't know how that worked.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he couldn't explain it to you any better than you probably can, but he's just able to read the auras and figure that out somehow via magic.
Cool. But anyway, back to this. Back to this mess. I guess. I mean, it's not the same poem as last time. Unfortunately, I forgot the first poem. But revenge or death awaits.
Right, well, I suppose revenge or death.
It's kind of
revenge,
unclear.
please.
I'm like, it's unclear if it's talking about me or him, because technically we can both be doing the same things. Because his mom was killed by my dad, and my mom was killed by his mom. So it's two children mad at the lineages.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be talking about anyone, which is unfortunate.
Blood begets blood, and revenge begets revenge.
It could even be me, says Shalelu.
It could be you, that's right. Damn.
Well,
Are you
I
wearing
guess it's-
anyone's skin?
uh, just some standard leather armor, I guess.
That
She
counts,
shrugs.
Someone's skin.
I guess so.
It does.
It was an animal skin at some point. But I don't know. Okay, well, it was just a thought. I guess it doesn't really matter if we're gonna be hopefully finding this thing soon.
Now, how do we plan to get across the lake?
That's a good question.
I'm mostly concerned about Kapal. We can manage the rest of you.
Well, if we need to, we could stash Kapal somewhere around here. There was a forest a couple miles back. Not much in the way of trees all the way out here, though. And there's some danger in leaving Kapal to the whims of whatever wildlife is in this area.
Well, fortunately, I don't have a really great way of putting him someplace. Well, I suppose the thought occurs. Are there trees nearby?
Yeah, there's a couple of trees here and there, outside the town, of course.
Tree stride is, I think.
5th level for starters. For 5 miles.
5 miles. What is it? 7th level? Don't recall.
I can't. I think 7. No, I think
So
it
you're
goes
trying to
5,
remember
6,
what
8.
tree stride
It's 6th level is 50 miles. So I would need. Unfortunately, I would have to travel with the horse to get it someplace safe for certain. But I could at least put the horse 50 miles away. Where was it we saw those horses? I think it was way too far south. It was in the uplands, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was way back near. It was the first day after we left Riddleport.
Mm-hmm. Aye, that's too bad. Don't know if Kapal would get along with them, but
Well, I mean, as long as we don't leave Kapal for too long, it should be fine. There might be some places that we could ford the river.
take a lot longer though.
Played enough Oregon Trail to know that that is a bad idea.
Obviously, that's when we cock the wagon and float it. That's always a better choice. Nothing can go wrong.
She
I'm
shrugs. There might be
planning
some
to
crossings
fly us
somewhere.
across unless there's a better plan.
That sounds fine. We can just leave Kapal as long as he's out of the dragon sight. That way it doesn't get picked up as a
The
snack.
goblins.
Oh, and the goblins too. Well, goblins probably aren't going to.
I was worried about the goblins.
They're generally terrified.
They're more afraid of the horse than the other way around.
I'm sure
Okay.
Kapal can keep them at bay.
Well, if nothing else, if we're keeping the dragon's attention on us, I'm not too worried about Kapal getting it eaten in the meantime, but we'll try and make this quick too.
All right.
So, shall we set up camp?
Sure.
Set off in the morning.
Okay. Well, You guys finish out the day. Greshy, I guess you can do your remainder of craft, or whatever this third day of crafting is.
Third day of crafting night.
And we continue on to Oath Day, Abadius the Ninth. 4708 AR. There's quite the blizzard going on today. It is very cold. Let's see. It was cold. Okay. Yeah, it's still within the range of severe cold, but it's near the bottom end of the range. It's close to negative 21 Fahrenheit. So it's around negative 20, negative 15.
Wow.
Oh, I'm still preparing endure elements for everyone.
Okay. When you say
Without
preparing,
endure
you mean
elements,
you're
is our
casting it on them?
clothing generally protecting us?
I am casting it on everyone.
Okay.
Taking an hour in the morning to get everyone comfy.
Okay, and that protects them all from severe cold and heat. Okay. Is that the... Oh, sorry, are you doing the second level version, or which level?
Oh no, I'm heightening to 5th.
Oh, heightening to
5th and
5th,
6th
okay.
level slots.
Okay, so, oh yeah, it'll actually stop extreme cold and extreme heat, as well as severe cold and severe heat. Okay. Alright, so everybody feels...
enough
nice.
casting for everybody but Phelan, so...
Okay. So Phelan's a little bit shivery, but he's big and woolly. He'll be okay, we hope.
He's also got a rune that protects against cold on his armor, so hopefully that will help too.
Okay. So, what do you guys want to do? You guys get up early in the morning, pack up the yurt.
Oh, now that everyone is all set, I'm going to get some phantom steeds prepared.
Okay.
We'll do them at 4th level and do a trio of those.
All right. While you're doing your morning prep, Shough would go find a spot to hide Kapal, on this side, and then she'll come back after about an hour or so. Right now that you're ready to cast the steeds.
All right. Well, these are only 4th level steeds, so they can walk on water, but they can't fly. So.
Okay. But they
But they do go 60
I can
feet.
do some...
Oh, was that Gunn?
Oh, they do go 60 feet. So.
It's the same as Rock speed, and Rock and I
Mhm.
can do some flying scouting.
Sounds good to me. Keep an eye out above.
All right. Yeah, there are a bunch of low-hanging clouds, so you're not going to get a lot out of scouting in the air. But yeah, you can certainly fly up if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys.
Maybe we'll fly along below the clouds and be able to duck up into them if we spot any dragons looking up.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get a couple, like maybe 150 feet or so above ground before the clouds start to get really thick and foggy, and where you would like lose vision on your party. But you guys are able to fly across here. So that is, what was the speed? You said 60 feet?
60.
So yeah, you guys have plenty of speed to get across. So yeah, where are you guys going? You know that the
Seems
location
like we had two
of
choices.
the ring is over here, directly across the water. You could try to go towards Rhymeskull itself, or you could try to cross to the east to a segment of a separate segment of land.
This one is where Asher saw some dragon sign. So maybe we can go that direction first and do something like... What's the key again for bending the arrow?
Oh, just right click.
Oh yeah, I see why that doesn't work on a...
Oh,
On
yeah.
trackpad? Yeah, it's really hard to do. On trackpad.
I've never been able to do it until now.
Yeah, something like that.
My magic.
Okay.
We have
so
our...
you're gonna go
I mean,
across,
our speed today would be
do some
44.
searching, and then
Yeah,
maybe
that
head
could
north
work.
and follow the path. Okay. In that case, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Sorry,
Asher.
48.
So you guys first fly across. Which river is this? It's one of the forks of the Steam River that leads into Lake Stormunder. But you cross over into the bit of mountainy peninsula and do some searching. So Asher, you still have him tracked. That is a 24. You spend about an hour's worth of time looking around trying to find some more trail, but you seem to have lost it. The spot that you saw before has now been kind of covered over in snow, and it's difficult to find more tracks. You can spend another hour searching again if you wish to refine the trail.
There we go. 39.
39. Okay.
Or I hunt prey add something to it. Is it a 40?
41. Yeah. So it'd be +2.
41. Okay.
Let's see if there's anything special from the tracking. Okay, nothing special for crit success. Okay. Oh, actually, not that this is a crit success. I think it's just regular success. In any case, yeah, you managed to find some leads on the trail again. You find some big, really large dragon footprints in the snow, where it looks like it might have landed, and can see a couple of trees that knocked down along its flight path up. And it does seem to have crossed to the north. Towards the other side of the lake, where in this direction, probably within the last 24 hours, you think. But it definitely looks like whatever dragon this is does some hunting around here. What would you like to do?
What's the verdict, Asher?
Ooh. Well, the closer we get, the more likely it is we're going to find a dragon. So...
I kind of thought that's why we were here.
Yeah, it is.
In parts,
but
at least.
Is
Getting cold feet
everyone
now?
ready to fight a dragon?
I don't think we're going to go straight into the fight if we can help it.
I think the intention is to scout the dragon, not to go fight it at the moment.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ideally, we're not fighting the dragon tonight. I am prepared if need be to fight, but it will not be the best of my abilities. So,
Okay. Well, I can continue to try and look for it. We can try crossing up to the north. To see
Yeah,
what's
maybe
on
we
that
can
side.
find the. In fact, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the dragon and the entrance to the Rune Forge are in the same location.
So,
Hmm.
you guys want to cross to the other side?
aye, let's get going.
Yep.
Let's go.
Shillelagh nods, and you all ride across the middle, I guess, of the three forks that lead into Lake Stormunder, and cross to the north to a little outcropping edge of the lake. Let me see. I don't have your green horses here, but I can get them. Cool. Something like that. So as you cross the snowfield, you guys are here in the far south. You can see off in the distance big ring of 7 statues at the eastern shore of the lake. They're difficult to make out, but they seem vaguely humanoid in shape. While you're over here, Asher, give me a survival check, since you guys were kind of following some tracks.
A 34, 35, 36.
36, okay. So while you guys are following the tracks over here, Asher, you notice, in addition to what appear to be signs of groups of small creatures, probably goblins, almost certainly goblins, you also see what appear to be maybe humanoid tracks. There's signs of some, perhaps humans, you're not sure, that have made a camp just a little ways to the north, right here by this large rock. There's no sign of them there currently, but you can see the remnants of a campfire. If you want to go closer and examine it, you can. But otherwise, right, Shalala also has one of these horses.
Whoops. I'll go take a peek. Who's been here?
All players. Give this one to Greshy. Okay. Yeah, so you make your way over there. While he's doing that, Gunn, you're just kind of flying overhead with Rock. What are you up to?
Yeah, I figure we might be like doing little circles in the area around here.
Okay.
Kind of looking for signs.
Okay, yeah, you're just kind of flying around looking for any sign of anything. You can give me a perception check if you want, to kind of keep an eye out.
Okay. Getting there. 1 second. There it is.
33.
33.
Okay. The falling snow is kind of muting the sounds of everything. It's very quiet, aside from the sound of the water itself. But even that, the water is moving very slowly thanks to the colder temperature. And even though it is the center of the lake has a bit more motion to it, this edge of the lake here is actually quite frozen. So you're able to hear pretty clearly your companions trudging through the snow. You can't see too far up into the sky, but no shadows, no dark, ominous figures flying through the air. And yeah, you also spot that you could all see the ring of statues here. But other than that, it's largely just a lot of random trees kind of speckling the landscape, all covered in snow. Greshy, what do you want to do? Shough's probably gonna go.
I was just going
Asher.
to follow along behind Asher initially, but yes, I kind of want to see if I can find a place around here that might be okay to camp out at. Perhaps a small copse of trees here to the, I'm gonna say east, I suppose.
This clump of trees over here.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Okay. Yeah, that's probably like the most covered area. You can see some trees up far to the north. Looks like they could be decent camping sites. that you can try and go make your way around towards.
Right.
Start just looking around for. Asher,
Mhm.
you make your way over to the abandoned campsite and hop off the horse, I guess, and look around. You spot it's been mostly cleared out, but you do see what looks like an old crossbow leaned up against the rock. Looks like it's kind of freshly powdered with snow, so it's probably just left here within the last couple of days. And there's a small bolt case beside it that is currently closed.
Oh. Does it look like the people that were here left in a hurry to leave this year? Or was it just abandoned, like trash?
It's not clear. It looks like it's kind of tucked away, like in between two rocks. So it looks like maybe someone just forgot it there, or maybe they got up in a hurry. It doesn't look like this camp was abandoned in a hurry, though. So your guess is that they just maybe somebody took it and like placed it down and forgot about it.
Well, I'll take a look at the crossbow and what's in the bolt case. I mean, I got rid of my crossbow, but maybe it's a good one to sell.
Yeah, you pick up the crossbow. It's nice. It's kind of inlaid with silver. Looks like it could fetch a nice some bit of gold. It doesn't seem to have any runes etched into it. There's no crossbow. There's no bolt currently loaded in it either. It looks maybe fairly used, but of otherwise decent quality. The crossbow bolt case is small. It looks like it fits about 10 bolts in it. There's something etched on the surface, I think in a language that you don't know. What languages do you know?
I know Goblin, Thessalonian, and Common.
Okay, yeah, it's in a language you don't know. It's in a kind of cursive font.
Was it Elven?
You can give me a
That's
society check to
like.
recognize it. If you, I was gonna say if you're trained, but you probably have untrained. Oh, you actually trained it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trained.
Okay, 23. It is similar to Elven, but it also kind of looks like Undercommon, which leads you to think that it's probably Drow. And in fact, when you open up the case, inside you can see, it looks like it's got room for, I might have already said the number of bolts, but I'm going to change the number. It's got room for 12 bolts in it. There's currently only 7. And each of them seems to be tinged with some kind of purple oil or something on the tips of each bolt. There's definitely like a slight purple sheen to each one.
Greshy said there were adventures. You found the dragon corpse. I wonder if this belonged to them. I should go ask Greshy what race they were. There's no great way to say that.
Ancestry. Of what ancestry they were.
Ancestry, there we go. I was like, what's a better
Ancestry,
word? Like, ancestry. Poor Ash. Alright, I'm going to go and question Greshy about that.
Okay,
See if
you
this
go over
is
to Greshy,
maybe
who's
theirs.
currently-
They come up here camping.
Just sort of meandering over. What'd you find?
I found this bolt case and crossbow. It looked like someone was up here, but I can't read the writing. I feel like it's either Elven or Drow, and I was wondering.
Drow. I'm not super familiar with that kind of writing either. No. I don't speak anything of the sort, so
Did the folks you meet in town, were they drow? Do you think this might be theirs?
I mean, I suppose it could have been, but I think I'd see more sign of them around here, wouldn't you?
I guess. I thought they came up here and found the corpse and came back. It didn't look like this was left in a hurry. It looked like they
Right, but well, it's quite a nice piece. It looks like to have forgotten it. I couldn't say though, but I don't recall if there were any drow off the top of my head in that group. There might have been.
Even so.
Finders keepers, though.
Corpse was here. Yeah, I mean, I don't use crossbows anymore ever since I got magically good at this bow.
All of a sudden, you became better at the bow.
I was practicing.
If nothing else, we've got something to sell, or anyway, I'm looking for a place to set up camp. Any ideas?
Yeah, it's all really open out here. Where's Shough going?
Not a lot to cover.
Asher gets distracted.
Well, Shough is just walking her horse over towards the ring of statues, out of curiosity.
Okay. Oh, everyone's just.
I'll
Greshy's
follow.
Heading to take a look at the scopes of trees to see if it's a good place to set up the earth.
I'll just walk up.
And
Said,
land.
if we have to battle today, Greshy is prepared, but it will not be a good fight for him. It will be a very good
Greshy.
Going
so
into
Greshy is, nagging Asher as he looks for a place to set up camp and sleep over in these tents over here, eager to rearrange his spells and get some spells back from the ones they used today. Shough is just kind of sauntered up to this ring of statues over here on her horse, and seems to have attracted Asher and Gunn's attention as well.
Yeah, we'll land right next to her.
She hops off.
This looks like the place.
Oh, right, you did mention a ring of statues. She walks up to one and looks it over. Seems to be a statue of a beautiful woman, but it is very worn and weathered and hard to make out. She's wielding some kind of double glaive, but it's been very worn to the elements. How old are these statues? I guess they must have been from Thessalonian times. She's just kind of inspecting one.
If anyone else even knows of them.
I mean, not even the end of Thessalonian times, but throughout. If our information is correct, then this place became the source of power that drove the Empire's reach and growth.
Huh. Do you think this is it? Do you think this is the entrance to the Runeforge?
It's either the entrance or it's part of the key. Supposedly, we should also be looking for a cave on the mountain. With a,
right. Something about
with a gate in the mouth.
Right?
Yes.
Well, she looks up and I guess you guys probably can't see the mountain currently, given the low clouds. But on a prior day, you would have been able to see the very large skull shape caked into it, or not caked into it, echoed into it. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Why did?
So,
what's Nightbot doing? Did you just spam a bunch of links, or was it just one link? What happened? I don't know what happened.
One link and then boom.
It didn't like the picture of big text for some reason, I suppose.
Very aggressive, Nightbot.
5 seconds.
Nightbot is just judging comedy now. That's pretty rude of it.
Alright, fine, Nightbot, I'll turn off link protection. Alright, I've turned off Nightbot's aggressive, not funny enough. Okay. It's fine. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I just got distracted by Nightbot kicking people.
Yes, I could think of 2 possibilities before we got here. One is that we do something here which reveals the gate, and the other is that we do something here which then allows us to pass through the gate. But we could find the gate first.
Huh, that's... She, kind of lost in thought, just walks over to the next statue. So that one's, I guess, to her right. Seems to be a tall man with some kind of large, almost like a frill of a collar, a massive collar.
Like a peacock?
It's Undergirl.
Possibly. Possibly.
Well, I was guessing based off the long hammer.
So,
yes, it seems to be wielding a long
gals,
lucerne hammer.
All of these guys and gals shopped at Polearm Emporium.
It seems to be their weapon of choice.
Keeps them at a bit of distance from their enemies.
And that seems like the best way to identify which statue is which Runelord is which school of magic. We do need to correlate them.
As you say that, Gunn, you hear something from behind the rock over here.
Oh shit, did I just reveal the secret?
It sounded like a little
What
like
was that?
crumble or something crunching on rock.
I will tell Rock to go check what that was, and he'll fly immediately over.
What was that sound?
He'll
try to catch
point for
if he
Rock,
can.
and he flies over to the opposite side of the rock, where he spots three drow, a woman with long white hair, what's seemingly a warrior clad in black armor, like obsidian armor, and a third fellow, lad or lass, or agender, I suppose, with a muted purple hood. The three of them are startled by the giant beast flying overhead. And immediately you hear one of them shout in drow or undercommon. Now is the time. And they, weapons already drawn, they rush to attack. And now we will end. There we go. Outro.
And Greshy is over in
Oops,
the
that was the
tree.
intro. Try this one. Greshy, all the way. Where is he? He's over
That's
here.
not so far. It's only
Couple of rounds.
that is easily 3 to 4 rounds away.
Wait, you have your horse?
Yeah,
Horse is still only 60, and it's a good 240
okay.
away. That's why I said 3 to 4 rounds.
All right. So while
Is the horse
Greshy is,
can you not?
Well, no, I can do multiple per round, but
yeah,
still, anyway.
sure. While Greshy
You can
is
use your actions to.
getting ready to set up the yurt, the rest of the party has encountered 3 mysterious drow who are here for purposes unknown. Yeah. That'll do it for this night's session. Thank you, everybody, for coming to hang out with us. Sorry for getting kicked out of the chat for posting links, but yeah, we will be back next week, I think, with another episode of Third Action. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you like it, give us a hug and kiss. Yeah, that'll be good. Good night, everybody.